Welcome back, fellow learners, to a safest journey of Module 8. Before we proceed, let's rewind for a quick recap of Module 7, focusing on fall protection, to maintain the integrity and reliability of the system. Now it's time to experience the life-saving power of fall protection in action. As we gear up for Module 8, let me pause and emphasize the importance of hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell icon. By doing so, you'll be at the forefront of invaluable insights. But make sure you've caught up on the previous modules. They serve as your guiding stars in this educational journey. Now, let's delve into Module 8, focusing on personal protective equipment, from OSHA 1926 Subpart E. The preciousness of every human life is emphasized in this module. Despite this, thousands of workers face fatalities due to negligence and inadequate safety measures, especially in the construction industry. Here, we focus on minimizing or eliminating such tragedies. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration mandates employers to safeguard their employees from workplace hazards using proper engineering controls or work practices, and when these controls aren't feasible, using personal protective equipment becomes crucial. Our focus in this module is to provide a foundational understanding of OSHA's pivotal role in preventing and eradicating work-related casualties and fatalities. Module 8 unfolds across 3 vital lessons. First, we'll delve into protecting employees from workplace hazards. Next, we'll explore head, eye, face, hearing, foot, hand, and body protection. Lastly, we'll discuss the crucial topic of choosing personal protective equipment. Throughout our exploration, familiarize yourselves with key terms like: say hello to dBA. These are decibel scale readings that have been adjusted to account for the human ear's varying sensitivity to different sound frequencies. Lastly, radiant energy, a kind of energy that travels outward in all directions from its sources. Let's dive into the first lesson, which centers around protecting employees from workplace hazards. Do you want to maximize the protection of yourself and others in the workplace? To ensure maximum protection, employers and employees must collaborate to establish and maintain a safe work environment. Employers hold responsibility for hazard assessment, identification and provision of appropriate PPE, employee training, PPE maintenance, and regular program evaluations. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, a staggering 3 out of every 5 injured workers weren't wearing eye protection during their accidents. Employers are tasked with safeguarding employees from falling objects, hazardous substances, and noise exposure, utilizing engineering controls and, when necessary, personal protective equipment. Work practice controls, a form of administrative control, modify tasks. Employees must adhere to PPE usage instructions, conduct daily inspections, ensure compatibility when multiple types of PPE are used together, and understand glove selection based on tasks and material resistance. Proper training on PPE usage is crucial. Retraining is essential if an employee needs to gain the required skills. Training documentation is mandatory, clearly outlining each certified employee's name, training date, and subject matter. And remember, determining the adequacy of employee training and providing retraining when necessary are key elements in PPE usage. Here are some study questions to reinforce your understanding. Now let's focus on the second lesson about head, eye, face, hearing, foot, hand, and body protection. Let's unravel some crucial points together. When it comes to safeguarding your noggin, there's nothing quite like a hard hat. But let's clear the air right away. Bump caps don't meet the requirements for hard hat protection. Now, hard hats aren't just a one-size-fits-all deal. They come in 3 distinct classes. First up, we have Class G, also known as general hard hats. These bad boys are built to take a beating, shielding your head from impacts and potential penetration caused by falling objects, And that's not all, they're like a dual-threat superhero, rated for up to 2,200 volts for low-voltage electrical protection. Next in line, we've got Class E hard hats, the electrical safeguarding champions. Stepping up the game, they provide increased resistance against high-voltage shocks, up to a whopping 20,000 volts. Lastly, we've got Class C hard hats, the conductive comrades. These sturdy helmets, made from aluminum, are all about impact protection from falling objects and debris. However, let's be clear, they don't pack any electrical protection punch. Imagine a world where safety isn't just a priority but a mindset. When it comes to safeguarding yourself against potential injuries, especially around the face and eyes, having the right protective gear is non-negotiable. Let's explore some essential equipment that can be game changers in keeping you safe. First up, we have safety goggles. These aren't just your average eyewear, they're the guardians of your eyes, shielding them from flying debris, harmful chemicals, or any unexpected hazards. Then there are full face shields. Think of them as your personal force field. These shields cover your entire face, acting as a sturdy barrier against splashes, sparks, or any potential facial impact. In the hustle and bustle of our work environments, there's an unsung hero that often goes unnoticed: hearing protection. Earplugs and earmuffs, your silent defenders in the battle against noise-induced hearing damage. Keep them close, and keep your hearing safe and sound. In the world of work, where our hands are our most trusted tools, protecting them is a top priority. Let's explore these hand defenders, the unsung heroes of protection. Chemical-resistant gloves, electrical insulating gloves, cut-resistant gloves, leather gloves, and insulated gloves, each with its own superpowers. In the bustling world of work, where every step matters, protecting your feet is a non-negotiable. Steel toe boots, composite toe boots, metatarsal guards, electrical hazard boots, and slip-resistant boots, each with its unique shield-like qualities. Let's reinforce your understanding with some study questions. Now we are moving to today's final lesson about choosing personal protective equipment. Did you know that when it comes to eye injuries, not wearing proper eye protection or using inadequate gear is the leading cause? Goggles play a superhero role in shielding your eyes from impacts, dust, splashes, and even intense laser light concentrations. Yup, you heard that right, laser safety goggles are a thing. Shockingly, only 1% of nearly 770 workers who suffered facial injuries were using face protection at the time. Now, let's talk about respirators. These protective devices cover your nose, mouth, or even your entire face and head, keeping airborne nasties out of your respiratory system. But before your employer hands you one, they must have a proper written plan and ensure a healthcare professional medically evaluates you. Because safety matters, right? Inspect your respirator every time you use it. If something seems off, don't wait, get it fixed or replaced immediately. That little device is your guardian against harmful substances. Your helmet or hand shield is your trusty sidekick when it's time for arc welding or cutting operations. But remember, helpers or attendants need proper eye protection too. Noise can be a sneaky hazard. That's why OSHA sets limits, around 90 decibels in construction. When noise crosses the 85 decibel mark, employers need to step in with a hearing conservation program and appropriate employee protection. Now, gloves, those unsung heroes protecting your hands. When it comes to chemicals, choose your gloves wisely based on the manufacturer's recommendations, especially if your hands are diving into the chemical pool. Hands rank as the second most injured body part in the workplace. Gloves aren't just for chemicals, they shield against rough edges, extreme temperatures, and machinery risks. Pay attention, because those hands are precious. And let's not forget about safety belts and nets. You can watch Module 7 for better knowledge about safety belts, link in the description. Safety nets are a literal safety blanket when you're working high above the ground. They need testing and proper installation before any work starts. Plus, there's a lot to consider with safety nets. From mesh size to impact resistance, they're your safety trampoline, so they have to meet specific standards to ensure they've got your back. And now, the study questions await. The statistics surrounding personal protective equipment, or PPE. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a mere 31% of construction laborers utilize PPE, leaving many workers vulnerable to preventable accidents. OSHA underscores a profound fact: proper PPE usage can prevent nearly 38% of occupational injuries or diseases, yet, tragically, 12 to 14% of total disability-related injuries are attributed to employees not wearing the right protective gear. Imagine the consequences: hearing loss without earplugs or earmuffs, lacerations to hands and fingers without protective gloves, or serious head injuries due to a lack of hard hat protection. But here's the powerful truth. We can rewrite this story. We can transform these numbers into tales of safety and resilience. Together, by fostering awareness and education and ensuring accessible, user-friendly PPE, we can change these outcomes. Let's pave the way for a future where every worker is safeguarded, injuries become a thing of the past, and safety becomes the norm. Here are some essential tips for personal protective equipment, PPE. Choose PPE that is appropriate for the specific hazards in your workplace. Educate yourself and your team on the correct use, maintenance, and limitations of the PPE. Check your PPE regularly for damage or wear and tear. Ensure proper fit and comfort of PPE. Follow manufacturer guidelines for sizing and adjustments. Store your PPE in a clean and dry area to prevent damage or contamination. Encourage a culture of reporting any issues or discomfort related to PPE. Remember, PPE isn't just equipment, it's a promise of safety, a shield against adversity. And here's your chance. Got any queries or thoughts to share? Don't hesitate, the comment section below is all yours. As we gear up for Module 9, brace yourselves for even more excitement ahead. Remember to subscribe and press the bell icon to stay updated. Until then, take care and stay safe.